Powell County Search and Rescue helped find a 12-year-old dog who was missing overnight after chasing a cat into the woods.
They say it is something they have been wanting for years, and now emergency management officials in Scott County say they're excited to hear that the county is discussing the possibility of purchasing a new high-tech weather station. We'll have more on that coming up.
Still looking at those two systems as we talked about yesterday, with that frontal boundary over us right now. Then later on in the work week and off towards your weekend, here comes a tropical disturbance that will bring tremendous amounts of rain to some portion of the Ohio River Valley. I'll show you which one coming up.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at Noon.
Good afternoon from WKYT News. We're glad you're with us. Hang on for the ride weather-wise. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith in today for Barbara Bailey, who has the day off. We are bracing for a very large amount, potentially, of rain that'll be hitting the bluegrass starting tonight, going all the way through the weekend.
All of it part of a tropical system, two systems, in fact, headed this way, bringing showers and looks like storms as well to our region. Some of those could be severe. WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris tracking the threat now on our First Alert Defender. Micah?
Yeah, we're looking outside and seeing some of those rumbles of thunder really fade across the region. We only have one shower down toward the southeast, and that's about it. You got to work all the way to Floyd County, heading off into Pike County here very shortly. It's actually working across 23, and that's just south there of Prestonsburg, that one cell. Heading toward Pikeville. Pikeville, you have another, I would say another 15 to 20 minutes is when you can expect this to glide off into downtown Pikeville and into the northern sections of Pike County. Heads up. Temperatures are right around 80 degrees. And you know what? Some of us are seeing a lot of sunshine. Some of us with a cloud cover. Where you are seeing that sunshine, it's making it for prime conditions for some severe storms. Possibility of that later on this afternoon. I'll dig into that. Deeper details coming up.
Well, crews are working to clean up from the latest round of storms and emergency management in Scott County, hoping for some new equipment that could potentially help them track the storms ahead of time. The Scott County Fiscal Court is discussing the purchase of a $2,000 mesonet weather station for the county. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is in Georgetown with more on the system, and she continues our team coverage for noon.
The Mesonet weather station is something that emergency management officials here in Scott County say they have been wanting for several years now, and they say all of the weather events already this year show how it would greatly benefit the county. Officials say the station would give them current, not predicted data, including temperature, humidity, wind direction and speed, as well as precipitation. They say the Kentucky Mesonet, which is a statewide weather network, would allow them to also look at data from other counties to better understand what they are dealing with. Major Michael Hennigan says the area has already been hit hard with weather events this year, from snowstorms to flooding to recent wind damage. Emergency management officials say the station would help from start to finish of weather events like these.
It definitely helps us to prepare for and then recover from having good data that we can provide to people that need insurance claims or disaster declarations. It's going to be helpful from the beginning all the way to the end of an incident.
If the county does purchase a station, officials say the next step would be deciding where to put it, as it does require being placed in a wide open area. In Scott County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Again, that's a $20,000 purchase. The Kentucky Mesonet program runs through Western Kentucky University's Climate Center. Tropical Storm Bill, now just a tropical depression, but that is not lessening the headache for East Texas.
Several inches of rainfall is causing flash flooding from Houston up to Dallas as that storm is now heading north and eastward toward us. Craig Boswell has the latest.
It was a slow and wet commute in greater Dallas this morning. The remnants of Tropical Storm Bill continued to soak East Texas.
There's the clear swirl in the depression as it's lifting off to the north.
Flash flood warnings are up for several counties in Texas and are now in place in eastern Oklahoma and Arkansas as well. The storm made landfall yesterday at Matagorda between Galveston and Houston, packing wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour. But its heavy rains are the bigger threat. In Sealy, Texas, about 50 miles west of Houston, fast rising floods claimed cars and caused power outages. The storm is soaking many of the same areas that saw record rain in May and severe flooding over the Memorial Day weekend. Dozens of people were killed and many homes and businesses were destroyed. Heavy pumps are in place in Dallas and throughout the area as emergency crews work to clear the water running off the already saturated ground. Craig Boswell, CBS News, near Dallas, Texas.
And summer school classes and student activities have been canceled throughout the Sealy area there. FEMA says that it has paid $38 million in Texas flood insurance claims this spring. Art will be tracking the storm threat throughout the day and into the weekend. Remember, it will help you stay informed even if you're away from your TV. Just download the WKYT weather app or find the latest forecast, always at WKYT.com.
Well, police are warning drivers this midday after a rash of car break-ins in Winchester. The thefts have reportedly taken place in the Holiday Hills and Windridge Drive areas. WKYT's Jordan Valines has the latest on the investigation in this Crime Tracker report.
Winchester police say from Monday night into Tuesday morning, they received nearly 24 phone calls from residents here saying that their cars had been either rifled through and in some cases their personal belongings were stolen. Today, police told us there were at least 20 cars that the burglars opened and looked through, but they only took items from 6 of those cars, those items being mostly electronics and firearms. Winchester police say that all of the cars broken into were either parked on the street or in the driveways of these homes. Early Tuesday morning, police say they received the first call from a resident saying they knew their car had been broken into because their belongings were scattered across the pavement and in their front yard.
We assume that these thieves had gone to several vehicles and they're just going to the vehicles that they find unlocked. So no telling how many actual vehicles they checked before they found the unlocked vehicles.
Now, today, police did tell us they will be increasing patrols throughout this neighborhood for the time being. In Winchester, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
Thanks so much, Jordan. Winchester police do not have any suspects right now. Well, the search for a woman missing at Cumberland Falls State Park has come to a tragic end. Search crews found the body of a missing 24-year-old woman this morning. She was in the water about 300 yards from the entrance of the park. We're told the woman was with 2 other people near Eagle Falls in McCreary County when she disappeared Saturday night. The coroner has been called to the scene.
Well, search and rescue crews have found a missing dog in central Kentucky today. Maddie, an English setter, ran off from the BP in Stanton last night after chasing something into the woods. WKYT's Victor Puente is in Powell County, where Maddie has just been reunited with her owner.
The members of the Powell County Search and Rescue Team are usually looking for people, but last night they started a search for a 12-year-old named Maddie, who isn't a person, but is part of a family. Maddie is an English setter. Her owner stopped last night at the BP in Stanton while on her way home to Indiana. She told search and rescue members that as she was getting gas, Maddie took off behind this building, possibly chasing a cat. They began a search of the area, but couldn't find Maddie. They did post her picture on their Facebook page and on the page Friends of Powell County's Pets. This morning, someone posted that she came to their house last night and spent the night sleeping on their back porch. Search and rescue member Wendy Stewart picked her up this morning and called Maddie's owner.
She was just very relieved and thankful and immediately left her house to come here and get the dog.
Maddie's owner had returned to her relative's home in eastern Kentucky where she'd been visiting. She's on her way back to Stanton to be reunited. In Powell County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
All right, Victor, thank you. And by the way, search and rescue members tell us this is the second dog that they've helped recover this year. All right, there will be some new rules for drivers at next month's NASCAR race at the Kentucky Speedway.
NASCAR says it will use a rules package with lower downforce. The package will include a reduced spoiler height, a wider splitter extension, and tires with more grip. But it only applies to the Quaker State 400 in Sparta on July 11th. NASCAR is encouraging more passing during the race, hopefully leading to more lead changes and better competition. That's what NASCAR says. And the most popular driver for NASCAR, Dale Earnhardt Jr., officially off the market. He has popped the question to the University of Kentucky graduate Amy Ryman at a church in Germany, where he and his family went on vacation to learn more about their heritage. He then tweeted out a picture of the happy couple with the caption, "Looking forward to the rest of my life with this amazing girl." Ryman is from Texas and got her interior design degree at UK in 2005. She also spent 1 year as a cheerleader.
Hey, it's good to have you with us here on WKYT News at Noon. Police are expanding their search for 2 escapees who broke out of a maximum security prison in New York.
We'll have the latest on the investigation next on Kentucky's #1 Midday News.
And also ahead, Donald Trump is not free to use one of Neil Young's most popular songs during the coming presidential campaign, and you'll find out why. Coming up on WKYT News at Noon.